Good evening. My name is Jim Sigafus. I am the chairman of the management committee here at Hideaway Hills. Tonight we're going to be talking about assessment spending and equipment and infrastructure presentation. So first off, what do all these amenities in Hideaway Hills have in common? So we've got our clubhouse, our shelter house, our golf course, we've got our barn, our security force, our lake, our lodge, our pool, and our ORV track, just to name a few. Well, all of these amenities are available to all of our members to enjoy. When we become members, we agree to support our amenities and our infrastructure. All of these amenities cost money to maintain. Our cost to maintain our equipment, infrastructure, and amenities has risen faster than our amenities has increased. Our membership needs this assessment increase to continue to maintain our amenities, maintain our equipment and infrastructure, and to provide the level of service that our membership has come to expect. The dues assessment that is being voted on at our annual meeting will provide an additional $30 per assessment per month from September 1st, 2020 to May 31st, 2021. Then an increase an additional $10 per assessment per month thereafter. So how much equipment does HA have to maintain? Hideaway Hills has over 2.2 million in equipment infrastructure that must be maintained and replaced. This does not include the replacement cost of our buildings, but does include things like roofs, septic systems, and HVAC systems. This existing equipment is replaced using funds in the Depreciation Fund. We currently fund it at over $16,000 per month. In 2020, due to the budget cuts and the need to replenish the Depreciation Fund, there was very little spent on replacing equipment. We must keep replacing equipment and infrastructure. The management committee is budgeting the following for the next 3 years. Keep in mind, the priority of these items may change as other pieces of equipment or infrastructure need replaced. In 2021, approximately $100,000 on new mowers, boat motors, radio systems, and maintenance vehicles. In 2022, approximately $91,000 on mowers, gate controllers, office computers, and maintenance safety equipment. In 2023, approximately $96,000 on security vehicles, mowers, and gate controllers. Most of this equipment is reaching the end of its useful life, and our maintenance team spends more time fixing it than actually using it. We'll make the most current version of this listing available on our club's website after this presentation, probably tomorrow. So how will the assessment increase be spent? So in the first year, we have approximately 792 paying accounts at Hideaway Hills. So the $30 increase over the next 4 months, so that takes us to the end of 2020, produces about $95,000. So what will we do with that $95,000? Well, most of that will be used to fund our back capital, depreciation, amenities, and employee insurance funds that are currently underfunded. It's very important that we get these funds back up, because that, as I talked about, the equipment, our depreciation fund needs to be there to replace the equipment. We need to have safe equipment, safe buildings, safe infrastructure for our members and our employees. And our capital fund is largely used for emergencies, bigger projects that the club needs to do. We used the capital fund to dredge the north end of the lake. It's a very important project for this club. Greatly expanded our lake. So that's basically how we're going to use year one.
Jim, you said that the depreciation, you were putting $16,000 per month into that account. Is that the goal of what you guys wanted to put in but weren't able to, and that created underfunded?
That is the goal. We traditionally had funded it at about $10,600 a month. We found that wasn't enough. We were just getting further behind on and pushing out more and more purchases. So we increased that to a little over 16, I think 16.7. We did a calculation that we've published in the ECHO, how we come up with that number, but that's the amount we need to basically get our fund where it needs to be and provide us enough funding to um, purchase new equipment as needed. Like I said, we've got $2.2 million worth of equipment and infrastructure items that just periodically go bad and are wearing out that need to be replaced. So we did an extensive kind of study of that list and came up with kind of an end goal where we're trying to get to having that depreciation fund.
Okay, thanks.
So year two will be the first full year of the assessment increase. As I said, the first 5 months will be at $30. The next 7 months would be a $40 increase. So that produces about $340,000 in year two, which would be 2021. So how are we going to spend that? Well, first off, we've got to continue to fund the back capital, depreciation, amenities, and employee insurance funds. And that's about $101,000. That's not, keep that in mind, that's over and above what we are generating now in cash flow that we're trying to get this caught back up. The next item, $63,000 for a market adjustment for our employees and to return our seasonal help. So we've been struggling. I think a lot of people know we've been short security staff all year. It's because our starting wages are below market. So we're struggling to keep good people. And we've actually had to go at one security guard at night because we're just shorthanded. We've been short having lake patrol this year. We've got to do a market adjustment for our employees to get them to a fair wage in our area so that we keep good people. We have good employees, and we can properly staff our security and our maintenance. And also that helps us get our seasonal help back. Part of our budget cuts last year we had to make was we normally hire 3 seasonal helpers to work with maintenance to help do the weed eating, to help on the golf course, to help with the trash, pick up at the lake. We haven't had them, so our maintenance guys have been extremely stretched thin this year, and you probably noticed it around Hideaway where the weed eating and the mowing isn't getting done quite as quick because they're shorthanded. So the next item is our food service amenities, and that's about $100,000 a year. And that's just to bring back our full services in our clubhouse and our lodge so that we can have a full food service amenity here at Hideaway Hills. It's been a staple of our community for years, and a lot of members really want to get that back, including myself, and everyone on the management committee wants to get that amenity back. That was a tough decision to make last year, to have to close that down. Obviously, the COVID shutdowns, it made it a good decision. We would have had to shut it down anyway, but it was a very tough decision to make, and we want to get that back. And every year, every captive community or captive country club helps to help fund their food service amenities, and we're no different than that. We think we can do this right, and J.G. Jeffers is going to present a plan that the Food Service Committee is working on to do this the right way. The next item will be bringing back recycling. That was a tough decision also that we had to cut out, and that was about $8,000 to the club. It was a huge amenity for the club. It got a lot of use, but it was something that we could get rid of and save some money. And then the remaining $68,000 in that year would go to helping with our roads, our ditches, and our erosion control to help stabilize that, provide a better infrastructure for our erosion control. Has been a huge issue in Hideaway the last few years. We get heavy rains, it washes out the roads, washes out the ditches. That would be over and above our normal road assessment. That's additional money we could put in there. Year three generates the first full year of the $40. It produces about $380,000. There still will be some additional funding for the capital amenities and employee insurance funds. Our employee insurance fund we are self-insured, and so we fund an account so that if we would have catastrophic claims from our employees that we'd be able to pay all those at one time. We currently fund at about $5,000 a month. That way our employees, if we were to have a huge bunch of claims in a month, we would be able to fund that, and we wouldn't be in a position where we couldn't pay their claims. Again, the market adjustment for employees and return to seasonal help, that's a continuing ongoing expense, as with the food service and recycling. But you can see in that year 3, almost $135,000 additional goes into our roads, our ditches, erosion control. That helps pay for culverts. It helps pay for the guardrails you see along the roads to provide safety. Our roads are one of our biggest amenities, and as Rex talked about, one of the most expensive amenities we have, just for the fact that they can get away from you so fast. And so we have to put additional money into those. And year 4 continues to be the same. You'll see an additional amount out of this goes to help continue to fund our capital and depreciation amenities and employee insurance fund. Ohio state law does not specify how much our community has to put in, but it does specify we have to have reserves. And it's prudent. We never know when, hopefully we'll never have a dam issue in my lifetime, but we've got 4 or 5 other lakes. We've got other amenities that need to be bigger amenities that need to be taken care of. So funding a capital fund is not only prudent, it's required by our law to have an adequate capital fund. So, we have to continue to fund that going out. And with normal budget, we wouldn't be able to fund it where we need to fund it. Again, you'll see the amount for roads and ditches actually starts going down as we have to put more money into capital depreciation amenities from our existing budgets. And finally, year 5, you see the same thing, generates $380,000. We've got the wage increase in there. Actually, I doubled that up. That's supposed to be capital and depreciation, and then the wage adjustment, and then still continuing to fund roads, ditches, and erosion control. So, and that should take us out to the 5-year plan.
You're saying that first line on there on that last one should say capital depreciation?
It should say fund capital and depreciation.
Okay, sorry. I just wanted to double check.
Yeah, I'll fix that. But so that's it. I do want to show quickly, if I can get to it, the depreciation fund. Can you see that?
I'm just seeing your screenshot right now.
Okay, let me share this. I forgot how to share.
Let me make sure you're, I've got you authorized to share.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. Now I got it. You should see it now. You see the Excel file now? No?
No, I'm not seeing it. Hit stop share and pull it up on your own, and then you can share. There. So try it now and hit share screen. There you go.
There we go. Minor technical difficulties.
That's all right.
So we're going to put this on our website. I think we've put it up before. What it does is list out all of our major equipment and infrastructure items. And that way we can, we plan out the next 15 years of actually where we're going to spend our depreciation funds spent. So this will be up, but you can see it comes to about a little over $2.2 million worth of equipment. So,
Jim, I don't know if you guys updated this or not. The one I saw previously, and this was months ago, there were a lot of things allocated to be purchased or replenished in 2019 or 2020 that we couldn't afford to do, and they sort of got pushed back to a later year. Does this reflect that we needed to push some of those things back to a later year because we couldn't afford them to replace them?
Correct.
What we did,
we just updated this at our last management committee meeting, and what we basically did, we only did, I think, bought one thing maybe for 2020. So basically pushed everything out to 2021 and beyond. So we just basically push everything out another year. You know, like we're going to buy, we need to buy another zero-tune mower and a fairway motor. We had planned on buying those in this year, but we just decided budget's cut and the way our funds were, we just didn't have the funds to do that. So we pushed everything out, try to limp it along another year. But at some point, we can't limp them things along. Our office computers are old, they're dying. Our radio repeater system is outdated and about to be inoperable. Everything's going to digital. So it's just things we can't keep pushing out. We have to at some point replace. So 2021, we have to replace these things. And it just goes out, and you get into some of the later years, bigger tractors or our dump trucks or our docks need replaced. You know, our international dump truck's a $130,000 dump truck that we used to plow our roads, take care of our roads. So huge items to buy, and that's why we're trying to push, you know, to get this assessment increase so we can get there and keep our community safe.
Safe for everybody.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think if the assessment goes through, we'll be able to replenish that lake patrol and get them out there regularly?
Absolutely. I
Allegedly,
think
there's been a lot of boats and stuff and jet skis out there that don't belong on the lake.
there's a lot of boats and jet skis that don't belong. There's a lot of reckless behavior. And we've been able to pay overtime to have some lake patrol on busier weekends, holiday weekends, but normally we haven't just because we're spread thin. And by having, you know, by increasing our security to a market rate, a marketable wage, we can afford to hire some new people, keep them on staff. We've been struggling to keep security guards, and they just get better jobs paying more money, and we lose them. And so we've struggled to get even part-time people to come out and want to do lake patrol or be a part-time security guard. So it's been a huge concern of the committee just because of the crowd on the lake, that we want people to be safe and we need to have that lake patrol.
I don't think it's because of COVID, but it does seem like the lake has been busier this year than typical.
Every year since we've reopened it in 17, it's gotten busier and busier every year. The lake dock waiting list has gotten longer. More new people are moving in, buying boats and wanting to enjoy our lakes, and that's awesome that they do. We just need to have lake patrol to keep everybody playing by the rules so nobody gets hurt. You know, we've had to go down into one guard at night, and it's not because we to save our security programs there to help fund that, but we just didn't have the people, and that puts us in a bad position when we have an emergency, like the fire near North Park or the North Docks. We only had one guard on that night, and he had to leave the gate open and go run and let first responders in. So we don't want to do that. We want to have solid security force. I think security is important to our members, and you know, we want to be able to fund that.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time again. This is your second video, so I appreciate you getting getting super popular. But I do appreciate you spending the time to do it on your evening.
Okay. I appreciate you recording these and helping us non-tech guys get this down.
No problem. All right. Well, have a good evening, Jim.
Thank you.